Good afternoon. We'll give people just a couple of minutes to join and then we'll kick off.
Good afternoon.
All right, it looks like the people joining have slowed down, so we'll go ahead and kick off. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the new monthly BEAD grantee office hours. We will be meeting once a month on our topics. As you registered, you should have gotten a pop-up with the upcoming meeting dates. So look forward to seeing everybody on a more condensed schedule. Today, we're going to go through outstanding documentation, talk about the NEPA review process and permitting roundtables, and of course, leave time at the end for questions. So first of all, I'm going to kick it over to Kyle to talk about documentation.
Thanks, Jamie. Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to talk about required documents to get to a signed, executed grant agreement for BEAD. First, I'd like to start with saying we're approaching the final stretch here. We're quickly approaching the NTIA deadline for the state of Colorado to have all of our grant agreements signed, executed, and then which we have to submit a report to the NTIA. That deadline is in mid-July. And so that's very quickly coming up. To get there, we need all this documentation from each of you as a grantee so we can check it, approve it, and get it all aligned so we can generate the grant agreements. This is a quick overview of all of the documents. Next slide, please. And this is our progress. As you can see, we're still missing quite a bit of documentation, and we need all of this per grant so that we can make sure we have all the documents required, approved, checked, and then submit into our own process all the documentation to generate the grant agreement through our contracting and finance teams. Where we're really lacking are in some areas where we could easily get these numbers up fairly quickly. Some of those areas are in the training, the CDOT right-of-way, financial surety, and reviewing the compliance. Next slide, please. So please, quick wins. Before you hop off this webinar, if you have not submitted these items, please take the time to do so right now. In fact, while I'm talking, if you can log in and take care of this and send an email, that would be awesome. So the first thing, complete required training. We have instructions out there on our website. If you need them, again, on how to register and complete the training, please contact your grant manager, either Jamie or myself, and we'll send you those instructions. It's very simple. The project manager, the financial officer, and as well as the signature authority just need to create an account, log in, watch a few videos, certify you watched the videos, and then it'll log in our system. We pull a report every Monday to check to see who has completed the training. So if you please log in this afternoon, log in tomorrow, complete this training, get it done if you haven't done it, and by Monday, you'll be complete in this area. Reviewing the compliance and reporting guidelines. These are simple. You can go onto our website. You should have also received some links from your grant manager, myself or Jamie. Just download the compliance reporting guidelines, take a look through them. I know it's 120 pages. It's a little bit of dry reading, but just take a look through that documentation and send an email back to Jamie or I. It says, I have reviewed the reporting and compliance guidelines, and we'll mark you complete in that area. If you could do that today, by the end of the day, that would be great. Forwarding a copy of CDOT right-of-way correspondence to the grant manager. If your project you believe throughout your design process will require CDOT right-of-way, please send an email to Leslie Gaylord at CDOT, and then either courtesy copy myself or Jamie on the email traffic, or forward a copy of the traffic if you already have done it to myself or Jamie. Again, same thing. We can take a look at that, file it in our archives, and mark you complete. And finally, for financial surety, you either need to upload a letter of credit package or notify us that you're going to pursue a performance bond. We do not need your performance bond right now. That will be due 60 days after the grant agreement is signed. For right now, just need a notice that says you're either going to provide a letter of credit or that you're going to pursue performance bond. If you're going to pursue performance bond, again, by the end of this webinar, shoot myself or Jamie an email that says we're pursuing a performance bond, and we will mark you complete, and then we'll follow up later after the grant agreement is signed on a copy of that performance bond. Next slide. This is just a reminder of some of the notes of things we've seen as documentation has come in. So letter of credit, it is a package. It must match our template. So please go to the website and download the template and make sure that if you're going to pursue or going to provide a letter of credit, then it matches our template. Make sure it's certified and that you have an opinion letter of counsel attached as part of that package. For network design packages, we just need to make sure that everything is aligned, that your application, your work description, the statement of work, your design narrative, and your budget, and your design, which we review in the design files, all match. The BSL attributes need to show passed or served. If your grant agreement award says that you'll have 179 awarded locations, then we're looking for that design to show 179 locations marked as served. If you have additional locations that you're going to serve in the future or provide outside of the grant, that is great information. We do love to see that. We just need to see those clearly marked as passed. So please, all locations on your designs marked as passed or served, and make sure the number of BSLs that you've been awarded matches what's in your application. We're also looking for fiber attributes, the total amount of fiber mileage on your project, the underground mileage, and the aerial miles, and we're looking that to be close to what your application. We may come back to you. If it's within a few miles, we're going to accept that. But if it's something of a change of 100 or more miles, we're just going to want to talk to you and get some clarification on what's driving that change so we can get a better understanding. And the goal there is to make sure that all of that lines up with your budget and your narrative. I'd also like to provide a little bit of context. Why are we doing this? Why are we asking so much in up front? Well, we have limited construction windows in Colorado. So our goal is to front load a lot of the NEPA and the EHP work as soon as we can. We've got a technical assistance team, subject matter experts on contract standing by to help assist through the NEPA and the EHP process. So we want the designs now before we issue the grant agreements so we can get those started into the NEPA and the EHP process and as quickly as possible get everyone to construction and delivering on these projects. I think that's my last slide, so I'll pause there. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Kyle. And I'm going to briefly touch base on the NEPA review update. And first of all, I would like to thank both our partners at HDR and our early participants who helped us validate the timeline in the process. The process is not changing, but based on feedback, we're making changes to the timeline and sequence of activities. One of the first things we heard at our NEPA kickoff is that the consultant would have liked to have more time to prepare the documentation and the presentation. Our HDR partners also felt it would have been helpful to review the documentation before the call. So the first change is we've moved the prepare for the initial review prior to scheduling the meeting. And what this means from a checklist perspective is that you will continue to prepare your environmental review, request the SHPO file review, transfer those files, and step 4, which is preparing the documents, will be done prior to scheduling. So we've updated the checklist with the documents you'll need for your NEPA review meeting. There is an actual presentation that our grantees will put together, walking through the key talking points, and those are outlined specifically in the NEPA agreement. We're asking you to submit your documents and notify your grant manager once those have been completed. Once those have been submitted, then you'll be eligible for scheduling the initial NEPA review meeting. The formal process is asking for 2 weeks from the time that it's submitted before you sign up for the meeting. Right now, it's slow. There's not a lot of backlog, so we are only requiring 1 week from file submission until scheduling. We'll notify you if the timelines get tight and we need additional time. We also have some grantees who have multiple grants. Due to the time and expense, we don't want to make you schedule a different review for each one. Work with your grant manager and determine if one session is adequate or if we should book a back-to-back session to allow your presentations for all grants to be completed at one time. Then we're back to the regular timeline after the initial review. NEPA will step in with their items. So we do have updates to the NEPA checklist. Again, all of the components are exactly the same. It's just the sequencing. So once again, you'll prepare the documents prior to requesting the meeting, submit those via the portal, notify your grant manager, and then we will give you the thumbs up to go ahead and schedule the meeting. That will give us the best use of both your consultant time, your time, and our HDR professionals. And I see a lot of questions popping up. Okay, so for milestone 3, that is requesting the SHPO file review. Have your consulting archaeologist request a Class 1 file search through the Colorado Historic Preservation Office, SHPO, and file those results. And I believe we have our HDR consultants on. If you would like to add flavor or context to any of these points, please jump in. All right. What needs to be included on the Make Ready plan for milestone 4? Okay, this is actually, if we jump ahead a slide, these are all of the items that will be covered at the NEPA review. They are detailed in full in the guidelines. The checklist gives you the high-level flow, but the detailed guidebook that's also linked on the primary page gives you all of the details.
And just really quick, Jamie, that question, it looks like it's asking about the payment milestones. And we'll get you some additional information on the documentation that's required for each individual milestone that you'll have to present for us to accept deliverable and pay on those milestones.
Thank you, Allie. I was looking at step 4 in the NEPA checklist, so thank you for that clarification. Okay, yes, the NEPA checklist and the guidebook has been updated, and if you go to the portal now, they are updated with this new information. Let's see, page 59 states payment requests shall be submitted quarterly. The grantee may request interim payment progress prior to the completion of a milestone. It's unclear if payment submissions are due quarterly or if they are based on the milestone. And wiser voices are happy to jump in and correct if I miss or misstate, but the answer is both. The payments are based on the milestone. You will be expected to submit monthly progress reports, and you do not have to wait to submit quarterly payments or milestone payments. You may have some that are completed early. You can submit those, but it's not invoice by invoice. It's by the milestone being completed. So we'll need monthly progress reports. As milestone activities are completed, you can submit the payments. We would expect to see payment activity no longer than once a quarter. And John, please let me know if I've missed or misstated. What we don't want is to get everybody at the very end of the process and submitting everything at once.
No, I think you've covered all the details. Allie, too, feel free to jump in. But The key with the quarterly financial request is submitted at least quarterly. Thanks.
And sorry, just to clarify, I think we'll take this back. Milestone payment requests will be submitted upon completion of the milestone. Progress reports are monthly, and so that quarterly financial activity is a little bit different. So we'll provide some additional clarification.
Thank you. Next slide. This is just a reminder that the updated information, both the handbook and the checklist, are updated on the BEAD webpage. Please download, reach out to your grant manager if you have questions. I know we have several people that will be moving into this process, so expect more detailed communication from your grant manager to help you through this process as quickly and as easily as possible. And again, I want to thank all of our partners and our early grantees for helping us validate and refine the process just a bit. All right, and I believe we're back to Kyle.
Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate it. Next slide, please.
Sorry, technical difficulties.
No worries.
I'm getting there. It keeps opening the link.
You gotta click.
There we go.
There we go. There.
Did that go? Oh, okay.
There we go. Okay, got it. Thank you so much, Megan. Appreciate it. All right, permitting roundtables. We have advertised this in a couple of previous office hours, but we're getting closer as we nail down the final details on these roundtables. So the objective, why are we doing these? We want to translate your stakeholder feedback into a clear plan for optimizing the permitting process. So we're looking to gather stakeholders from across the state, from the ISPs to CDOT, state and federal partners, railroad, electrical co-ops, municipalities, county representatives, and your permitting expediters and EHP consultants. We're looking to bring these people together in the vast majority of these will be an in-person forum to gather feedback from you on the permitting process so that we can take that back and build out a plan to try to optimize the permitting process. We know that it's not ideal in many cases, but the goal is to make this better for both you as the ISP and the grantees, but also for those that are processing the permits and getting them through their process. So we have less kickback and we have quicker turnaround time to get the permits approved and out so we can continue the work on these vital projects. So we'll be sending out more information here in the near future. Here's our tentative schedule. May 29th, we'll be looking at the Southeast region, and that is going to be in Pueblo, on site in Pueblo. More information to come soon. And then you see the tentative schedule for the rest of the dates, June 10th, 18th, 23rd, and 25th. These are going to be fast paced. We're going to get through these and the generic areas where we're looking to have these. We are not quite at the point where we're nailed down an exact city just yet, but in the next couple of weeks, we hope to have more information. We'll be advertising through our newsletter and out through our email distro list and also on our website on when and where these permitting roundtables are going to occur. So please put these on your calendar, plan to attend, and you can attend one or many if you so see fit. So please come to as many as you can or as you want, and we're looking for your valuable feedback to help us build an actionable plan to improve and optimize the permitting process. If there's no questions, I think we go to just general questions next. Okay, the floor is open for questions.
So we have as the action item to get more updates on the funding and reporting process. We'll work to get those out. Do you have an update on when you'll start sending the grant agreements? We actually have submitted them, started submitting them this week. So they are going through the process, and I'm not 100% sure when they'll be out the door, but we have begun submitting the completed ones.
What do you mean by submitting them? Sorry.
We've submitted all of the paperwork to create the formal grant agreement. It has to go through our finance team for approval, and then through our contracting and grants team, and they will get them out the door as quickly as possible. But the paperwork has been submitted. It's gone through initial approvals. And I don't know what the exact time frame is for getting one out the door, but you will be notified once your grant has been submitted for generation.
And just to clarify, going back to the documentation, I've been getting this question quite a bit as well, is, we will not start that process through our internal contracting and finance teams until all the documentation has been reviewed and approved. So this goes back to why it's so important to make sure you've provided all that documentation before we can start executing the process to execute signed grant agreements.
I can also follow up with our contracting team and send updated notes on how long we're anticipating those will take to go through the process and be out for signatures.
Just to put a really fine point on this, y'all, if Jamie or Kyle has sent you a message that says you're still pending items, your grant is not in the queue yet. So once you get those items into them, it will go into the queue. It'll be first come, first serve. So those of you that have everything in and it's all been approved, thank you so much. You guys are moving through the internal state process already. For those of you that still have things outstanding, the sooner you can get those to us, we sure do appreciate it. We'll get you into the queue after that.
So I say there's questions of what is the exact deadline date in July? So the state's deadline to have everything signed and the report submitted to NTIA is July 20th. But our goal is to have everything signed and executed, all of our grants executed and signed by June 20th. That is our goal that we're after, to make sure that we have a little bit of wiggle room to address any unresolved issues. And we also, again, have to, collect all that information and generate a report to provide to NTIA before July 20th.
Let me, and if I can provide a little bit of clarity on that, for those of you who have worked with the state of Colorado before, you know that it takes us a long time to get grant agreements out. So the NTIA's deadline of July 20th, we can't start that process July 20th. We need to have all of your documentation in the next couple of weeks to be able to meet the NTIA's deadline. So you'll be hearing from Jamie and Kyle on a regular basis to try and get us all over the finish line on time. If you have any questions and if there's anything that we can do to help expedite the process on your end, I hope you'll reach out. We really do want to work with you and be partners to help everybody get it all done in a timely fashion.
I think one thing Allie and our team has been very good at stressing to Kyle and myself this week is that if everybody waits till the end, we're going to end up with a bottleneck. So some of you have gotten emails saying, hey, could we get some of your design documents, if not all of them? We're really trying to ensure that we don't end up with everybody hitting the queue at the same time. Some of you are well on your way. We're going to get your grants through first, but this is not a time for procrastination. So hopefully we can get them all through and take advantage of this funding as quickly as possible. All right. Any other questions for today? I think Kyle and I are both sending emails to each of our grantees today and tomorrow just to confirm we're all at the same place we think we're at and what we need to push over the line. We're at that critical time. If you feel like you want to set up a regular touch base with us for the next couple of weeks, please let us know. We're happy to schedule that time and pull in whatever expertise we need to help you.
And I'll just say, it looks like my plug worked. I just got an email from one of our grantees saying I reviewed the reporting and compliance guidelines. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mark complete. Looking forward to getting more of those.
And Cynthia asked the question about what can you work on while waiting for the final agreement. I think one of the most time-consuming one is the NEPA components. So if your network designs have been approved, start working on that. That's one of the longer items through the process. And I that's what I would recommend. Kyle or anyone else, if you have any early actions, obviously you can't submit everything, but if you can start that preliminary work for your NEPA review, it'd be a great use of time.
I think the other things that you can begin working on are, if you have not negotiated your contracts with your subcontractors, you can begin working on that. Until your grant agreement is executed, we strongly recommend that you have sort of out language in it. You want to check with legal counsel, but generally this is null and void unless we get our grant agreement signed language. But that'll help you get ahead a little bit. Looking into BABA compliant materials is a great additional first step. So the things that you can be working on really are your environmental review, your sourcing of materials, making sure that all of the materials that you're going to be using are BABA compliant, and making sure you've got your procurement started at least or in progress.
Looks like there was a follow-up question there. It says approved by whom? So that would be your grant manager. So your network designs will be approved by our process, and then you should get an email from either Jamie or myself, typically through Salesforce. Again, sometimes those go to your junk items mailbox, so please check those. But you will get a notice that says your network designs have been approved and you are cleared to start the NEPA EHP step-by-step checklist that we have published on our website. And then you can start working through those items, and then that will lead you up to scheduling a meeting with our NEPA and EHP consultants to walk through the process for those specific grant projects. Does that answer the question?
Yes. Who did you say they might come from?
The approval should come from myself or Jamie.
The email, though, you said from.
Oh, we tend to send it out from Salesforce, the grant portal,
Salesforce.
the system behind our grant portal. So sometimes those come as, odd emails and may go to your junk folder.
Thank you.
If there are no more questions, we can wrap this session and obviously be speaking with all of you, but look forward to seeing you again in June. Thanks, everybody.
Thank y'all.